We spoke to Atul Aneja, the West Asia correspondent of The Hindu, and began by asking him about Israel's defense that it was their soldiers who came under attack.
Yeah, I mean, these arguments seem to be pretty specious for the simple reason that this was not a warship that was going and trying to breach the Gaza blockade. It was this was a flotilla filled with relief material for the Palestinians. So, you know, the argument of self-defense does not really wash. And the second point is that the boarding of the ship by Israeli commandos took place not inside Israeli territorial waters, but in international waters. So, I mean, how do you say that this was self-defense? I mean, it just doesn't sound logical. If you see the reaction of the Palestinian Authority, the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas called it a massacre. I mean, the Turks, who have been very badly hit by this incident, have questioned that. Egypt summoned the ambassador of Israel yesterday, and Egypt being one of the allies of Israel, and which has signed a peace treaty with Israel. So you see the entire atmosphere being soured, and that having a political reflection in terms of increasing the animosity towards Israel by the so-called allies one-time so-called allies of Israel, which includes Turkey and Egypt.
News from Jammu and Kashmir, and violence and protests rocked parts of North Kashmir last week after it emerged that 3 young men from Nadihal were killed by the army last month in a fake encounter. The families of the victims are in shock and now await justice.
Unconcerned about separatists sloganeering at her home, Jabina is yet to come to terms with her husband's murder. Shahzad was one of the 3 young men killed by the army last month in an alleged fake encounter. His son Shaheen is only 4, too young to know his father is dead. But Jabina is too shocked to accept the reality. The 3 Baramulla villagers who were lured by 2 army informers were poor people looking for jobs. Riaz Ahmed was keen on giving his family a better life. Now his old father is worried what will happen to him and his 3 daughters.
Riaz Ahmed had a dream to build this house, but it is still without a roof and windows. His father Muhammad Yusuf is shocked that his son, who was lured for a job in army, was sold and then killed in a fake encounter near the line of control. Will he ever get justice? In Nadihal, Baramulla, Nazir Masoodi for NDTV.
Well, in other lighter news now, a temple which has taken 14 years to build and cost £16 million in the Indian-dominated area of Wembley in London drew thousands of visitors and devotees on the first day of its opening. NDTV Swati Maheshwari was also there. It was a festive atmosphere as thousands made their way to see the new Sanatan Hindu Mandir, a brand new landmark in the Wembley area of London. An imposing sand-colored structure built over 214 acres, it has been built without any metal support using techniques from the ancient Hindu scriptures. Many of these carved pieces were handcrafted in Gujarat before they were flown to the UK and then put together.
The atmosphere is so serene inside. It is a long time coming, but it's been absolutely worth it. That's the impression we have. And I'm really glad that it's here in local. I'm only 1 mile away from the mandir, and I think I'll probably pay regular visits.
It's already become a part of the list of must-dos for visitors in London.
Mum saw on the news this morning actually that there was the temple opening, and I work in London and we saw it was opening, and we had a big interest in Asia as well. Me and my wife, we got married in Kerala actually years ago, so you've been to India as well, haven't you? Yeah, so.
Do you know anything about Hinduism? What did you think of the temple inside?
Absolutely magnificent, yeah. Nothing compared. New Zealand's got nothing to compare with this. Yeah, work of art.
It's taken more than a decade to build, with many financial hurdles along the way, ultimately costing a whopping £16 million. But one look at the gleaming interiors with 41 marble deities made in India, including those of Guru Nanak and Mother Teresa, and it's clear why this has cost a fortune to build. With Swati Maheshwari in London, Gargi Rawat for NDTV.
Coming up ahead, the pollution report. Stay with us.